All right, so recently DirecTV pulled Newsmax from their channel lineup. It was just over a dispute over money, basically, that's what it was. And Lauren Boebert went on Newsmax to say some things about what happened.
I'm absolutely disgusted at DirecTV, who's owned by AT&T, and what they've done to join the woke mob and censor conservative speech. But I do hope that, the companies that do back conservatives and are there for them, like, say, Patriot Mobile, are benefiting from this. Because there is going to be a mass exit from AT&T. We absolutely have to put pressure on this. I think that this is something that is ripe for the Oversight Committee to look into. Certainly when you have these publicly traded companies. So there needs to be some involvement here and some pressure put on these companies, because this is freedom of speech on attack right now. If you have to censor your opponent's views, well, then maybe you don't have the best views to argue them.
Okay, so everything that Lauren Boebert just said there is literally just not true, and they're not going to explain why that's not true. The story here, or the headline that you guys can't see, just says that Nielsen reported that Newsmax is a top 16 cable channel. They're arguing that they are being censored because they are conservatives, and there's going to be a mass exit from DirecTV and AT&T. That's not true. It's like I said, DirecTV came to Newsmax when their contract was up and said, hey, carriage fees for you guys to have your channel on our platform, they're going to be higher. They're not going to be as low as they were before. And Newsmax said, we can't afford that. It's going to make stuff too expensive. So DirecTV was like, well, then you guys can't be on our service. It's part of the business. And to prove to you guys that everything that Lauren Boebert said is just a fucking lie and she's a fucking idiot, something that happened where I live recently was in the area that I live in. Nexstar media stations, they're like this big media company that owns a bunch of news stations. They pulled certain channels from Verizon over carriage fees. This happened recently, and one of the channels that was in the area that I live in was my local ABC station, Channel 8. And Channel 8 has a whole bunch of stuff on it. They show sports on ABC. There's a whole bunch of stuff that was not on Verizon, and I have some family members that have Verizon that do watch this channel. They were very upset that ABC was taken off of Verizon, and it has nothing to do with censorship. That has nothing to do with it. Newsmax has been on there this entire time with literally no issue whatsoever, and it all has to do with carriage fees. These stations right here were pulled because of fees associated with carriage. It all has to do with money. It all revolves around money. Lauren Boebert saying that the House Oversight Committee needs to look into it because it's freedom of speech, and they're censoring freedom of speech, and they're censoring them because they have opposing views. There is no evidence to back that up. There's literally no evidence to back that up. She cannot make that case at all. Again, Newsmax is that station that just has talking heads the entire time. They just have people talking. They don't ever show anything. They don't ever show you any evidence of what they're saying to back it up, because they don't have any evidence, because it's all a fucking lie. It's literally just straight propaganda. And if the Republicans want to do what they want to do in this country, which is a lot of terrible shit, like literally get rid of Social Security, which is something that they are trying to do. I know Kevin McCarthy came out and said that they're not going to touch Social Security, which I do not believe that. They need news stations like Newsmax so Lauren Boebert and other Republicans can go on there and spew their propaganda lies. They need someone like Newsmax. That's why they're saying that this is a free speech issue when it's not a free speech issue, okay? It has nothing to do with free speech at all. Again, it's all about money. If Newsmax had more money to pay DirecTV, maybe if they weren't, fucking poor, then they would be able to have their station on DirecTV. But apparently, they don't have enough money to pay the higher fees to be able to carry out their deal. And again, that falls on Newsmax. It's Newsmax's own fault, and that's why they're attacking DirecTV. It's conservative 101. if something bad happens to you, or if you're in the wrong, just attack the other side. Just insult them, make up lies about them, because that's literally what they're doing. They're not going to come on the air and say, well, actually, guys, we couldn't afford to strike a deal with DirecTV. It was just, we don't have the money for that. They're not going to say that. No, they're not going to say that. People like Newsmax are not going to say that. Nexstar, they actually put out a statement themselves. I don't have it here, urging their customers and stuff to strike a deal with Verizon. And Newsmax has kind of been doing that, but they've just kind of been pushing this narrative again that it's a free speech censorship issue, which again, it's just completely disingenuous. But I don't know what anybody expects from conservatives, especially from an outlet like Newsmax, of all places. It's a joke. Again, all they have on there all day long is just people saying crazy shit, and they don't ever have evidence or anything to back it up. They don't ever show you anything. They just have guests on and host on the entire fucking time. But if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, walk on over to the subscribe button, press the subscribe button, and then hit that little bell to turn on all notifications so you never miss an upload.